What's up, everybody? Metal Dave here, along with my co-host Jason McMaster, bringing you another episode of the Talk Louder podcast. Today, we are joined by legendary rock vocalist Graham Bonnet. Graham has a new album out called Lost in Hollywood Again. It's actually out December 12th, so not quite yet. By the time you hear and see this episode, it'll be coming out in about a week. So look for it. It's called Lost in Hollywood Again. It's a live album recorded at the Whisky A-Go-Go in Hollywood. And as you would expect from Graham, a live album touches on all his career milestones. There's some Rainbow, there's some Michael Schenker group, there's some Alcatrazz, and of course, plenty of his own material. Man, always a fun conversation. We had him on the show about 3 years ago, and anyone who's a Graham Bonnet fan, if you missed that episode, go back and check that one out as well.
Yeah, I was in awe. It may or may not have come off that way. Probably did. I wear my heart on my sleeve sometimes, but dude, we got the best Michael Schenker story we could ever get. I mean, it just cleared up a lot of stuff. So Dave's right. Go watch that older episode and then watch this one or whatever order you like. But yeah, it's just good to see him still doing what he's here to do. And you're 100%. He's one of the greatest rock voices ever. So loud, so powerful. He's got the grit and charm and melody and his power, just so much power. You know, it almost scares me sometimes. I talk about this a lot with my singer friends is, you know, he's one, I would only imagine that he sings quite loud. And even in our older episode, I recall him saying, oh yeah, my mom used to say that I'm just loud all the time.
Yeah,
I read books loudly, you know, and I'm not even reading it out loud.
Right.
He's just very, very loud and rambunctious when he sings. Even when he's got, you know, even when he's bringing the dynamic to a lower level, he's just loud. And John Bush is kind of that way too. Even when the dynamic of like an Armored Saint song or even Anthrax comes down to a bottom note, you know, it still feels and sounds loud. And, you know, a bucket list would be to vocalize or at least be in the room to hear him warm up. Graham, you know, as I have with Bush, and Bush just warms up loud. I mean, it's like, oh my God, you're peeling paint, you know, and I love it. It just as a singer, it's admirable. I don't sing like that. I mean, to some other people, I might be loud, but I'm not loud like those guys. Those guys are fucking loud. They're breathing flames. So
yeah. Booming is the word that comes to mind.
Their voices bellow. You know, they'll take over the space in the room. They'll fill the room. So it's amazing. I'm glad to talk to him and glad that he's got a record out and he's just doing anything and everything. And, you know, he talks about something else he's got, a couple of different things that he's got coming up in the very, very near future as well. So, this guy is, he's 77 years old. It's incredible. He's been around in the rock world for decades and decades and done some monumental stuff. We all know the Rainbow, the Michael Schenker, the Alcatrazz, and his own music, you know, equally as good. So, and as you said, he's not slowing down. We're here today to talk about a live album that he's putting out in just about a week or so. And he's well into the next record and writing and recording. And he's got at least one special guest star that we talk about today. And it'll be no secret by the time this episode finally airs. Graham is working with Bruce Dickinson. And, but there's even a particular heavy metal guitar player who's a bit of a power metal guy and kind of a shredder that I won't say the name here, that he just popped out of it. I was like, wait, what? You know, so that was kind of cool to hear that too. And but I'll let it be a natural surprise for those people who will even recognize the name. And a lot of you should. And if you don't, you know, go shop it.
Yeah. Always a pleasure. Living legend, Graham Bonnet on the Talk Louder podcast.
Yeah, I'm okay. It's been been a hard day's night, but I'm all right. Yeah, I had my hair cut yesterday. That's probably what I'm suffering from. The shock.
Yeah.
I had sort of a couple of months of, probably a couple of months of growth. And I thought, well, if Richie Blackmore sees me now, he wants me to join the band again. You know,
Yeah.
he never liked my short hair, but, that's me.
Well, we're glad to have you on an average day with a fresh haircut. So thank you for joining us.
Hey, okay, yeah, hi, yeah, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, you've got a new album out called "Lost in Hollywood Again," and I want to talk a little bit about that. But first, I wanted to ask you if you've ever actually been lost in Hollywood.
Let me think. Probably. Probably those days of boozing and. That's way back in 1980, probably when I was not used to this place. And but now I couldn't get lost here. But I don't know, not really. But it's a good story, and it's actually the story of Roger Glover. He was going through a terrible. Well, it was a divorce actually, and he was getting a little bit, let me say, high.
Okay.
And yes. And he wasn't he was very unhappy. And he wrote this song around how he felt, there's certain lines in that song that sort of, tell how he felt about it. Because he was going through a really rotten time. And, we sang this song. It was the last song I did on the album. And I had a crate of beer, I seem to remember, waiting for me as I sang with the microphone there. Hello. And this is the old days, remember this? And I had a plane to catch that afternoon. And Roger said to me, "Are you going to get through all those beers before you have to go?" I said, yeah, I think so. He said, "My God, how the fuck do you do that?" I said, "You've got like 10 beers there." I said, "I know." But that helped with the vocal. Somewhat, because after we'd done it, he said, "Little Richard lives." That was the best praise I'd ever had. Little Richard, one of my favorite singers, rock and roll singers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not really Little Richard, but I was very enthusiastic about singing it.
There you go.
I was in a hurry.
Very well lubricated, it sounds like.
Yes, it was. Yes, I was very oiled.
Yeah. The new album is a live album recorded in August of 2024, I believe, at the legendary Whisky A Go Go.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, as someone who's been in the game as long as you have, you've probably played the Whisky many times, but do you remember your very first gig at the Whisky?
Good question. Yeah.
Well, the Whisky, not so much. Recently, yeah. Played a couple of nights there with it was 3 nights, wasn't it? Yeah, played with our band.
That was the first place we ever played.
It was the first place I ever played there. The first time I ever played there.
Mm-hmm.
Bethany's band was on stage, and I said to Bethany, I can't remember what I did now.
You did Oh Darling and
that's right, yeah.
No Matter What.
Yeah, I did 2 songs, Oh Darling and
No Matter What.
No Matter What, the Badfinger song.
Yeah, great tunes.
Because I saw the band on stage. She asked me to join the band, come up and sing a song or 2 with her singer. And I did that. And after we finished, I thought, I like this. This is good fun. This is more fun than being in the band I'm in. So I left my band, or fired my band, Alcatrazz-ish, and I decided to work with Bethany. And that's where we are right now. But since then, we've done a couple of gigs there. I've done, as I said, like 2 gigs there with Michael Schenker. We had 2 nights there with his show a while back. And we've done, I don't know how many, probably 1 in between this. And then this DVD, which we wanted to do at the Whisky because it's so famous, and whatever, a tourist spot, basically.
Yeah.
And a nice pub. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, it was fun. And I'll tell you who played there recently. Bruce Dickinson played there. And I thought, he can't be playing here. Besides Michael Schenker, I said, why are you playing at Whisky? It's such a tiny little place. But Bruce did a gig there, and it was great with his own band, not with the usual band.
Right.
And, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was really nice to see him in a more intimate place than like in a football crowd. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. We're going to ask you about Bruce Dickinson a little later on, but your album, it's called Lost in Hollywood Again. It's a live album. And of course, you know, at this point in your career, there are a number of songs that you just have to play or the crowd won't let you get out of there alive. So of course your album touches on, as you mentioned, there's some Alcatrazz, there's some Rainbow, there's some Michael Schenker stuff, there's some stuff from your solo career. Out of all the songs on the album, is there one that you include in the set just for your own personal enjoyment?
Oh, all of them, really. But I do like it's hard to choose. I do like Lost in Hollywood because I remember that being like the last song I did with Rainbow, recorded with Rainbow, and what Roger was going through at that time. And it's sort of, I can understand why this, you know, got to get a message through because I think I'm losing you. Then it's sort of drinking heavy, trying to lose some time. That's one of my favorite lines. Drinking heavy, trying to lose some time. I got to know, are you still mine? But she wasn't. She eventually divorced him when he got back home. That's one. And Eyes of the World, the first track.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I would just imagine that, you know, you're in a position where you have to give the people what they want, but you also have the right to perform what energizes you and what makes you enthusiastic. So I wanted to get your thoughts on what tracks on the album satisfy that itch for you.
Yeah. Well, it's a song called Love's No Friend. I like that because, you know, mid-tempo song, and it's very bluesy. I really like that kind of thing where I can relax and sort of sing it different every time we do it because it's very, you know, you can ad-lib wherever you want because you know, hell, what have I got? I'm a blues player. All I know is 3 chords, you know, so that's the way it goes, you know. And I love that song. And also, oh, wait a minute, what's that?
That's not my games.
Make a lot.
See the man in the blue suit?
Yeah.
That's my games.
Huh?
It's my games.
No. Yeah, sorry. I'm speaking to Beth from here. She's
it's fine.
all the time. You know, I've forgotten what's on that bloody album. Making Love is one I like. Because that's another one's kind of relaxed. But I also, not from the Rainbow, but from our own stuff. I like Night Games, but that's from my solo stuff.
Yeah.
Not Rainbow at all. But those 3, Lost in Hollywood, Making Love, and Eyes of the World, I think, are my favorites.
Do you think that it's like a 50-50? Because I haven't seen a set list. You know, is it are your sets like 50-50, like older material, popular songs that people got to hear, and then like newer things that you like, and like you say, a few tunes so you can kind of ad lib and relax a little bit and sing some blues and just chill for a little bit. Is it about 50-50 then?
Pretty much, yeah, because we have a long meeting about what can we do, because I always bring up tunes that they've never heard of. You know, what about? And they go, what's that? You know, but some of the things I recorded for the British market were surprisingly known by the American market and other markets in the world. I remember standing on stage singing a song called Night Games, and we're in Bulgaria. And I looked down at the audience, and they're singing the verses, not just the chorus where everybody was, you know. It was like, how do you know those fucking words? But they did, and that also happened in the States when we played here. Night Games was, I guess, sort of an underground little track I did, but it never really made it here, but people know it for some reason. Yeah. You know, they probably bought one of my solo albums or something like that. It's from an album called Line Up, which I'm very proud of, actually. It's a really good album, musically. I don't know if I was, but anyway, great players on that. But that's, you know, it's surprising how many people throughout the world know all the different stuff I've done. I'm going, well, can't we do this? Can't we do that? And we've also tried another song that was written for me and my cousin, Trevor Gordon, back in 1968, when we're called the Marbles, me and him. We're kind of like the Righteous Brothers, the Righteous Brothers of England.
Last time we had you on the show, we talked about the Marbles a little bit. Yeah.
Barry wrote that. You know, Barry wrote that, and that was our beginning of. You know, that people ask for that now. and I'm here in this country.
Wow.
We did a re-recording with my old band Alcatrazz, and it turned out pretty good. I was surprised how well it turned out, actually, because I was kind of fed up with singing it over and over again. But to do a song with Alcatrazz, I think was a good move. But anyway, it did turn out good. But I was like, I don't think so. You know, when you recorded something once, that's the best it can be. To me, anyway, it feels like you can never improve on that. Live, probably. But, you know, we re-recorded it.
The album, again, as mentioned, is a bit of a career retrospective. So I was curious to know, did you give any thought to putting only one woman in the set list?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Your very first charting single back in 1960.
1968. I was 19, and my cousin was 18. So the two of us had this song written by Barry Gibb. It's called Only One Woman. And we do that once in a while where we think the audience may know that song. And it's surprising, too, as I said, that people know, they know it. You know, they go, wow. And there have been other places where I've done that song, where we've played that song, they're going, what is that song? It's in 3/4. It's called Only One Woman, written by Barry Gibb.
Yeah.
And thank you, Barry. I'll always be grateful.
It's not on the current album, Lost in Hollywood Again. So
No,
I was curious to know, because you have brought it back before on other albums. I was just curious to know why it didn't make this record.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was because it's I don't know. Sometimes you have to look at the audience and go, what did we do for these people? You know, is it going to be like leather and chains and all the rest of it, or is it going to be a suit and tie? You never know. You know what I mean? They're very clean looking, and then you can do only one woman.
Right. That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
It's called reading the room, right?
Yeah.
Reading the room.
Well, that's in your business. That's a perfect spectrum. You know, you got leather clad, and you got leather clad, and you got plaid.
Yeah.
Another
look at them and go, ooh, no, not that one time. Oh, mate, no. Yeah. But anyway, that song always does pretty well. We always get a nice round of applause. After I explained who wrote the song and when I recorded it in 68. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Another song I know that you're very well known for that is not on this album, and I was curious about why that is Island in the Sun. Mm-hmm. That's everybody knows you for that song, and again, I realize you can't include everything on every album. Just curious to know why that one maybe didn't make the cut.
Well, it's something I want to leave behind, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, Alcatrazz has died. I'm not with it anymore. Alcatrazz is no longer. And that brings back a few unhappy memories, I should say, because we parted on really terrible terms. And it's still going on. I won't go into it deeply, but it's something that I didn't want to do because that was our first single, I believe, we put out. And it did pretty well. Yeah. But, you know, every time I hear that, I go, you know. Yeah, you know, anything but that. You know,
but what about stuff like Desert Song?
We do that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. That's
so
on the
beautiful.
DVD.
Beautiful. Yeah, so
that's
beautiful.
Michael Schenker, which is a totally different ball game.
Right.
Yeah.
I respect Michael. I don't respect Alcatrazz.
Okay.
The way they are now.
I only asked, just in my defense, the only reason I ask is because there is an Alcatrazz song on the record, Too Young to...
Yeah.
I always get
too young to fart. No, not too young to fart. Too young to die, too drunk to live.
Right.
Another beautiful song. Too drunk to fuck
too young
is...
to die.
Too drunk to fuck is the Dead Kennedys. Yeah.
What?
Too drunk to fuck is the Dead Kennedys. It's an actual song.
Different genre. Yeah.
Beautiful song. That's a beautiful song.
Yeah. It's a wonderful song. That song is in the set because our guitar player loves the guitar solo, and he has to do it.
I love the lyrics. But, I love the lyrics are great. I can't remember if you or Yngwie wrote those. Who wrote those lyrics?
I wrote them and the melody. All the songs on the Alcatrazz stuff is all my melodies and all my words.
Well,
Chemical Kids, Lost in the Street, looking for some kind of savior.
Oh man!
Perverted minds lead them like sheep into the slaughter they have to face. et cetera, et cetera. Because
Yeah.
I take I'm writing the words for our new album right now. And we got up to like 8 songs, I think, so far for the new stuff. Wow. And we have really nice guests on the album. So it's going to be good. It's going to be very good.
Wow. Do you collaborate with outside people? Like, do you write lyrics for just, Joe and Sam, who might call you and go, "Hey man, I'm making a record and I need some lyrics. I'm dried up." Do you do that?
No.
You're not for hire?
Well, no. But I tell you something though, I can't let anybody else write my words because they don't go. My brain is like weird because I write about strange things. I wrote a song for with Jeff Loomis a while back.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That isn't happening yet. It will, but it's not yet.
That's awesome.
And it's called "The Man Who Ate a Plane."
Oh. Okay.
That sounds like a sci-fi movie title or something.
But it's a true story. A man ate a freaking plane. And another guy ate a train. But I wrote this song about a man who ate a train.
Sounds like they need to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Really? How do you shit?
Yeah.
That's a dental bill I wouldn't want. That's a dental bill I would not
it's horrible.
want.
But I tell you who does. Our outside writer is Russ Ballard. And I always get in touch with him because of Since You've Been Gone. Ever since that freaking song was recorded, it's everywhere. And that broke Rainbow. It really did.
Yeah,
into
certainly.
the chart, radio.
Yeah.
So Russ has sent us 3 songs. We've chosen 2 that we're going to do because they're kind of a bit more rock than the last one he sent. He wasn't sure about the last one. He was writing the song. He says, "I haven't finished it yet. I'm not sure." But when he did send it, I said to the guy, "The other 2 are better." He won't be, disappointed by that. I don't think. I think he wrote it quickly, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but he's a great writer and always in touch with him.
Yeah. The last time we had you on the show, I mentioned that, Ozzy Osbourne is known for working with a roster of amazing guitarists throughout his career, but so have you. I mean, you've worked with Ritchie Blackmore, Michael Schenker, Yngwie Malmsteen, and Joe Satriani. I wanted to ask, and they've all had, except maybe Satriani, all of them have had reputations as being difficult to deal with. Now, I don't want to get into any dirt. What I did want to ask is, out of all those guitar players, those great guitar players, which one did you feel like you had the best creative chemistry with?
Steve Vai.
Wow.
No, absolutely. The second album we did with Alcatrazz, when Steve joined the band, well, he didn't think it was right for the band for a start. He said, "I'm not like Yngwie, I don't play like that." But when he joined the band, wow, we really took it was so different because when we started writing together, it was, I had the same ideas as he did. He said, "Well, we won't do that because that's too obvious. We'll take a left turn here instead of going straight ahead." And that makes my lyrics and melodies more interesting, I think. And that is my favorite album of so-called Alcatrazz. But he and I got on very, very well.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Good. And you mentioned, and so this news just broke today. We mentioned Bruce Dickinson earlier. I understand that he is going to duet with you on your upcoming new album and apparently has already recorded his vocals. Can you elaborate on that? How did that come about?
Yes, he has. He did his vocal, 2 months ago, was it there?
It was just before the last tour.
Yeah, it's about 2 months.
Yeah,
it's about 2 months ago. He put what he's doing like the last verse of the song, the last pre-chorus. This all sounds very mechanical. The last verse, the last pre-chorus, and then the chorus, and then he ad-libs out to the end. And I've got my the first verse to do with the pre-chorus and then the chorus. Sounds boring, doesn't it? Oh, bloody hell. It sounds very boring. It sounds very mechanical.
Got to have a map.
That's the way you do it. So I've got my bit to do. We haven't done it yet. We're just getting some new equipment together for the studio. And I think we have a new microphone, which is something I've got to look forward to. So it's going to be, what do you call it? What do I call it?
What?
That song with Bruce.
The simulation?
What's it called? Fourth.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's got a strange title. I just got to think of it for a minute. It's called The Fifth Force of Nature.
Wow.
Now, there's a title for you.
Yeah, that's good.
It's about, is this reality or is it something else? You know, that's basically what it's about. We're living in, a simulation or something. But they really think there is a fifth force of nature. And some scientists or whatever are trying to build this machine that will find that particular place. I looked it up. I mean, it's real. They're actually doing that. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but they think that we are manipulated by something else, or we're not even here.
I think
Which
you're the
scares the
fifth
fuck out of me, but you know.
I think you're the fifth force.
I think I am. Thank you very much.
It's a great album title too.
But it's a fucking horrible title, isn't it? Fifth Force of Nature. And I said to Conrad when we were recording, I said to Conrad, well, you know, the chorus comes up and I go, Fifth Force of Nature. It's too many F's. So I said, after the fifth, I should take a breath. Fifth force, you know, so it doesn't go. But that's
So you're not.
That
So
is
you're
a
not
real
singing.
thing.
So you're not singing Fiffy.
Yeah, right.
Fiffy.
Yeah, like a fucking dolphin or something. But but you look up that fifth force of nature, and you will see what it says about it somewhere. Google it, you know.
But
it's
it doesn't sound it doesn't sound anything like the fifth dimensions.
Yeah, right.
That's it. Yeah.
That is right. Yeah.
Okay.
The fifth
Good.
dimension. They think there already is one.
Do you like science fiction? Do you read and movies or whatever? What's your go-to genre of movie or story or book?
Well, I mean, I watch a lot of alien stuff on TV.
Yeah.
And stuff that does go into, like the pyramids and all that kind of stuff, but back years and years to see where we came from. And it comes up that we actually were not the first people on Earth or the moon. They reckon there's stuff on the moon now, you know, pyramids, et cetera, as you know, probably. But that kind of stuff really interests me, you know, science, history, science, whatever you want to call it. It's really, you know, it's fascinating. I mean, it's just like, what? Are we really here? You know, that really scares the shit out of me. But, you know, are we really here? Are we what we think we are?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And all this stuff, when you see a pyramid is built on the moon and then it's built in other places across the world, why are all these things the same? This triangular, you know, building. It's why? What is it? Nobody really knows what the pyramid is. It's not a burial place. It's something else. They think it's probably like a battery.
That's what I thought that they came up with. That it was a way to create electricity.
Source.
That's right. Yeah.
It was an energy source, and they actually had primitive lighting at some point back. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I mean, we really don't know. I mean, we're just finding out this stuff, and that's why the song came about, because it's kind of scary to think that we're not real. You know, we're manipulated by some kind of machine or some other being or something.
Yeah, can you imagine like working for the, you know, whoever's in charge, the pharaohs, whoever, whatever, and it's quitting time. Well, no, you guys are going to keep on working, and it's dark in a pyramid. You're in a grave.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no electricity. That's suspect.
Yeah.
You know,
come on. Yeah.
They had some kind of lighting. How did they light? How did they
exactly? They found batteries of buried. Yeah. I mean, you've seen that, haven't you? All that kind of stuff, and stuff that's like thousands of years old.
This could turn into a whole other podcast, so we better be careful.
It's the Twilight Zone with Graham Bonnet.
It's the Twilight fucking Zone, isn't it? I am in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. I was going to ask.
That's my television thing, but also, movies. I love movies.
Yeah,
and,
good.
It's any kind of movie that's kind of a little bit weird. you know.
What
do you take ideas? I'm sorry, Dave. Do you take ideas like writing? I'm like in a master class right now, Dave. So do you take like phrases and ideas that you hear an actor or a storyline in a movie, or do you write little phrases and stuff down and try to use them? It's same here. Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, me too.
Why are you watching TV again when you're writing a song? Well, because somebody's going to say something. I go, oh fuck! Yeah, write that down.
1,000%. 1,000%.
That's the way I make up stuff. You know, so I get a good story. If I haven't got one, I'll make something up from somebody else's story.
Well, David Bowie did the same thing, but he would read the newspaper and he would just cut out the phrasing of a newspaper and put it in a little book or something.
Exactly, and that's where you get a good song from.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
very much so. Well, John Lennon the same. You know, I read the news today. Oh boy, that's about a real incident.
Wow.
You know, and he read it, and 4,000 holes in Blackburn, Lancashire. That's from the paper.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you your early singing career, or your earliest days as a singer. You were heavily into more like R&B, that type of music, and then of course you became known as one of the greatest rock singers. What was the rock and roll bug that bit you? When did you kind of leave R&B and put your focus more on rock and roll, and what was it that made that happen?
Well, it was joining Rainbow, basically. You know, it was, but I still I didn't change my voice or anything. You know, it's still what I did in the past in R&B, you know, with Only One Woman, for instance. It was, I haven't gone, I've got to sing like this with a gravelly throat or something. It's the same voice as I used when I was, a younger man. And that's how I got the job in Rainbow. Richie liked the song Only One Woman. And they were playing a tape one night, and this, a cassette of a bunch of tunes, and that tune came up, and Richie said, they were looking for a singer at this time. Richie said, where is this guy now? And I think it was Cozy said, he's with Corey Productions, who Roger was working with Mickey Moody, who was part of Whitesnake.
Right.
And he said, well, I can get in touch with Graham and, I'll ask him to come over. So they asked me to come over, and I learned one song called Mistreated, and that was my audition piece. That's when I got into it. But when I walked into that room, I was overwhelmed by this incredible sound. These guys were, Don Airy, Cozy Powell, bashing away up there, and Richie Blackmore, and the great bass playing of Roger Glover. And they just started playing something without, they didn't have any songs written. So they played something or other, and it was just like amazing. And I was like, I don't belong here,
That's like you were the lucky fly on the wall. It's like, wow, I get to land all over these guys in a minute,
So I thought, well, I don't have long hair anymore, like I used to have when I was, 20 something or other. And so I thought, well, I don't fit the image. But Bruce Payne, the manager, said to me when I asked him, later, I said, why am I in this band? He said, well, we wanted to change the image. They were actually going to have a different bass player too, a younger man, Jack, I've forgotten his second name. It's a Scottish guy, but Jack something. I can't think of it. But one day we were sitting listening to the tracks that Rainbow were putting down, and Jack was there in the studio with me, listening to all the arrangements. And I said, why are you here, Jack? What's the deal? He says, well, I'm going to play bass on stage, but Roger isn't. And I said, Roger's a great bass player. Mm-hmm. So I spoke to Roger, and I said, Roger, why aren't you playing on why are you coming out with the band to play live? He said, well, nobody's asked me. And I said, well, Rog, if I ask you, does that count? He said yeah, go and tell Richie. No, that's what I did. I said, hey, Rog, you want to be in the band? Do you want to be in the band, Rog? And I said to Richie, I think Roger should be in the band. I mean, Deep Purple, the two of you belong together anyway.
Yeah.
Same family. And so that's how Roger was part of the band. I mean, it was a little bit to do with me. You know,
Well, did did you and Jack remain friendly after you booted Jack out of the band?
No, I never saw him anymore. I didn't boot him out, they did. He was a nice guy. He had short hair, shortish, about your length, that kind of, you know, like just below the ears. And he was really like looking at what's going down at the bass part. Can I play that bit? But, you know, he was just gone. I didn't fire him or anything. I don't know who did. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, it seems to have worked out just fine.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not for him, but for everyone else.
I think
and Roger.
He made a single, I believe.
Yeah.
On his own.
Listen, I think we only have you for 30 minutes. Is that right?
I don't know. I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Go away now.
Yeah, we're at the 30-minute mark. So we don't want to keep you any longer than we requested.
All right. Yeah, you're welcome.
Or any longer than you have. But always a pleasure to have you on the show. You are a living legend, one of the greatest singers in rock, and
thank you.
We're honored to have you. And I hope your tour brings you through Texas, where we're located.
Yeah.
So we could come out and see you in person and watch you do your thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
The new album.
Me too.
The new album is
more
called.
in this country. You know?
Yeah, we'd love to see you in Texas, and I'm sure the rest of the country would love to see you as well. The new album is called Lost in Hollywood Again. It comes out December 12th. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
December 12th it comes out.
Yeah.
Look for it. And always, like I said, an honor to have you with us, Graham. On behalf of my co-host, Jason McMaster, on Metal Dave, along with our special guest today, Graham Bonnet on the Talk Louder podcast.